Good evening, everybody. I'm going to try and do this a little bit different today, but first I want to go to the air alert map. And you can see Kiev City has been under air alert for an hour and 20 minutes. Oblast is almost 3 hours. Cherkasky, 2 hours, 33 minutes. Sumy, 7 hours, 11 minutes. Chernihiv, 4 hours, 17 minutes. Zhytomyr, 2 hours, 22 minutes. Ravina, 1 hour, 11 minutes. Klemensky for 1 hour. Russia's keeping up the air alerts at night. I want to drag this off to the side. Oop, let me close that. Close that. And since I missed yesterday, we're going to double up. So, operational information as of the 26th and the 27th regarding the Russian invasion. I don't have a picture on this one. That's unusual. So, Pozavčora, since the beginning of the day before yesterday, there has been 159 combat clashes. The enemy made 1 missile strike using 1 missile, 60 airstrikes using 102 bombs, more than 550 kamikaze drones, and carried out more than 3.5 thousand attacks on positions of our troops and population centers. And then yesterday, Vachora, 142 combat clashes have taken place. Today, the situation remained the hottest in Pokrovsky and Kharkiv directions, and the enemy is also active in Kupian, Liman, and Vermiv directions. Today, the enemy launched 1 missile and 66 airstrikes on the territory of Ukraine. 140 aircraft bombs were used. 762 kamikaze drones. And carried out, again, more than 3,500 shellings of the positions of our troops and settlements. There were 7 skirmishes in Kharkiv. All attacks in the Volchansk and Staritsa districts, all were repelled by Ukrainian soldiers. And then yesterday, the enemy attacked twice near Volchansk. So let me just remind everybody. Volchansk, Staritsa. So again, they're really concentrated on this area. Oh, hello KKGG, LJ Boone, Blonde Bombsheller, of course, Andrew Bittery. Guys are keeping the chat active today. Thank you very much. In the Kupiansk direction, this is the day before yesterday. The enemy tried 13 times to dislodge our units from their occupied positions near Krindrashivka, Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, Kurgla. Sorry, my throat's not 100% recovered. Kurglayavlivka, Zagrivzoba. Oh, that one I can't do. Berestovo, Pershat, Zuravinevo. Two attacks were still ongoing at 10 o'clock 2 days ago. Again, Kupian's direction. Aggressor tried 20 times during the day to advance on our positions. Pretty much the same settlements. 17 attacks were repulsed by the defense forces. The fighting continues. And let's come back to the deep state map. Now, Kupiansk, they're basically talking about this entire front here. You zoom, I can't zoom in until I get rid of that. Vishnivy, Lozova, that town wasn't mentioned, but Petropavlivka. So all along this front. Get ready for the Lehman direction. The day before yesterday, 18 times the enemy attacked the Limansky direction, tried to advance in the direction of the settlements of Gorvivka, Makivka, Terny, Toretsk, Zarchini, Zirabrianka, and Hirohorivka. One skirmish continues. Yesterday, the enemy attacked 15 times in the areas of Cherneshchia, Novomykolaivka, Makivka, Terniv, Zarachuni, Zarabrianka, and Hirohorivka. 2 skirmishes are still ongoing. Our soldiers have stopped the rest. Oh, wrong window. Wrong window again. There we go. Again, Bilohorivka, Zacherny, Terny, Novomykolaivka, Herkivka. Now, basically all along this front here. I got to straighten up my other tabs. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them open. Oh, I got too many open. Okay, now I got them all settled. Sorry about that. Hey Kurt, welcome to the stream. So that was Limansky direction. Yesterday it jumps to Kramatorsk, but the day before yesterday, there's an update in the Savris direction. Occupiers attacked twice in the areas of Bilogorivka without success. No update for Kramatorsk. So I'll go over here for the Kramatorsk direction. The activity of the enemy since the beginning of the day amounted to 4 combat clashes. Assault actions took place near Orokovo, Valiska, and Pretechny. I'm not exactly sure where that one is at. So let me pull up the deep space map again. And, Vimika Bilohorivka for Survisk, uh, Rakovo Veslivka. I don't see the other one offhand. Oh, I need to do group. Okay, let's get this to Toretsk. Get this one to Toretsk. The day before yesterday, the enemy tried 9 times to penetrate our defenses in the direction of Toretsk. Since the beginning of the day, the occupiers in the areas of Sobrianka and Toretsk settlements have been repulsed 4 times by our defenders. 5 attacks are still ongoing. Our troops repelled 5 yesterday. Our troops repelled 5 enemy attacks near Toretsk, Serbia, and New York. All attacks were repelled by Ukrainian soldiers. And, New York, right there, Toretsk, and Serbia. So basically this small area right here. The day before yesterday, the enemy is intensively attacking the Ukrainian defenders in the Prokrovsk direction. Here, during the day, the aggressor carried out 40 assaults and offensive actions. The Russian occupiers are most active in the areas of Zovdivnivka, Mirolubivka, Promyny, Niskivka, Krutoy Yar, Krasnoy Yar, Mykolaiivka, and Seladov. In total, Ukrainian defenders have already repulsed 36 attacks in this direction. 4 clashes are ongoing. The situation is difficult but controlled by the defense forces. Our soldiers are making efforts to prevent the enemy from advancing deep into Ukrainian territory. According to currently available information, again, this is 2 days ago, the losses of the aggressor in this direction amounted to 300 people killed and wounded. 5 vehicles, 1 motorcycle, and 1 buggy were destroyed. In addition, 8 cars, 3 mortars, and 1 motorcycle were damaged. Go to yesterday, and the enemy has tried 27 times to break into our defenses in the Prokrovsk direction. Near the areas of Mirolubivka, Promyny, Krutis Yar, Vishnivi, and Seladova. We receive a tough rebuff from our defenders. I'm guessing that's mistranslated. Yesterday, according to preliminary information, our soldiers neutralized 189 occupiers in this direction, 80 of them irreversibly. 1 tank, 3 cars, and 3 artillery systems were destroyed. 4 armored combat vehicles were also damaged, one of which is the Terminator tank support combat vehicle. Okay, I'm going to rabbit hole here, because that's the first time I heard of that. Okay, it's this thing. Okay. So basically a BMP with 2 guns and rockets attached to it. Ukraine took out one of those in Prokop's direction. Back to the deep state. Unfortunately, their deep state is showing some advances by Russia in Pokrovsk area, especially around Seladov. We just watched the timeline here. Now, remember what I told you about the rail lines? Pushed out the rail line and expanded out from it. So they're going to try and push out this rail line again, and then they'll try to expand out from it and include Seladov in their area. So yeah, the situation's not an easy one in Pokrovsk area. Hey there, Storm. Okay, you have to forgive me for a second, but it's getting cold again and the flies are annoying. And that one was juicy. Now, only if it was that easy to take out Russians. Yeah, Kharkiv next. There were 40 combat clashes in the Kharkiv direction 2 days ago. The invaders remain highly active, trying to advance in the areas of the settlements of Izmailivka, Stepanivka, Novodmivka, Novoseladivka, Grostiv, Delaney, Antonivka, Konstantinivka, Elizvetivka, Katerinivka. The defense units and forces repelled 33 attacks, 7 were ongoing, and the little booger's friend came back. Sorry. In the Kharkiv direction a day ago, the enemy attacked our position 36 times. The most active was in the areas of Novoseladivka, Novodmivka, Kharkivka, Maximilianivka, Antonivka, Kurakova, Katerinivka. Ukrainian defenders repelled 32 attacks, and 4 clashes are ongoing. Now, one thing I want to point out, I saw Greg Terry point this out in his Kurakova and Kharkiv. Let me go to the map. Kharkiv, Kurakova. So, 2 different cities, very similar names. It's a common thing in Ukraine to have very similar names. Maximilianivka is right here. Katerinivka is down here. Antonivka is down here. Konstantinivka is here. Izmailivka, Novoseladivka, and Deep State's reporting that Hrinka has been taken over by Russian forces, unfortunately. And that makes this area very difficult in the coming days. Um, it's, I mean, Russia's throwing everything they can in this area. And unfortunately, Ukraine has to give up territory to save troops. Russia doesn't care about their troops, so they're sending meat wave after meat wave after meat wave into these attacks. In the Vermits direction, our soldiers stopped one assault by the occupiers in Bogoyavlinka. That was 2 days ago. And yesterday, our troops repelled 5 enemy attacks near Novoukrayinka and Bogoyavlinka. 3 more assaults are still ongoing. This is another area that looks bad. Boroyavlinka, Novoukrayinka, and just go back a day or two here, and you'll see, Russia's pushed into these areas, but I told you before, the defense lines are set up back along these areas to more defendable. This area is really flat and, well, it's just hard defending. Since the loss of Volodar, this area was known to be not favorable for defense. So the defense lines are back a little farther than they were, and you're going to see more of this area go red. It's not that Ukraine is losing the fight. It's a strategic retreat to put themselves in a more defendable position. Stuff like that happens in war, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. In the Orikhiv direction, one unsuccessful enemy attack was repulsed near Novodenlivka. In the Dnieper direction, 2 days ago, our soldiers repelled the attacks of Russian invaders. 5. Excuse me. So, in the Dnieper direction, 2 days ago, Russian invaders attacked 5 times. Yesterday, the enemy does not stop trying to knock out our units from their positions. There were 3 unsuccessful assaults in positions of Ukrainian soldiers yesterday. And of course, when we talk about the Orikhiv direction, we're talking about here. Novodenlivka is this one. Yeah, here we go. Of course, the Dnipro direction, it covers this entire front line here. And more than likely, those assaults are happening in this area. Near Kherson, normally to the north of it. Howdy, Blue. Good to see you. The honorable mentions, the units that they want to celebrate 2 days ago was the 65th Separate Mechanized Brigade, 124th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade, 25th Separate Airborne Brigade, 42nd Separate Mechanized Brigade. And if you're looking in the description below, the fundraiser for Viper, his unit is part of the 42nd, and there they are being honored. 425th Separate Assault Battalion, who are professionally and decisively destroying Russian invaders. The units I want to mention yesterday was the 25th Separate Airborne Brigade, 79th Separate Assault Brigade, 425th Separate Assault Brigade, or Battalion, 65th Separate Mechanized Brigade, 124th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, which should be commended for their effective and professional combat work, which effectively destroyed the enemy, caused him losses in manpower and equipment. Of course, glory to Ukrainian soldiers, glory to Ukraine, and of course, sorry, again, Heroam Slava. I'm going to bring this back up, and you see a lot of the air alarms have been dropping off. I saw the message, Blonde. Yes, I know that it's the 422, but the 422 is part of the 42nd. It's battalion versus brigade. Sorry. So Zelensky had a long speech, but this is one I wanted to show you guys. So I will copy this link into chat for the Telegram channel of Warriors Ukrainian. I like this channel because they do some of the human side of things, and of course, fall in Ukraine. It is very beautiful. They also do a good job of getting information from Ukrainian sources, translating it to English, and doing a very good job of the translations. A lot of good information from them, and you don't have to do the translation if you don't want to. Especially useful on the phones, because the phones make you pay to translate in Telegram. Zelensky had a long speech today, but one of the ones I want to talk about. Russian airstrike caused serious damage in Kharkiv, one of the most famous constructivist buildings in the world, which is under temporary enhanced protection. In Kiev, Russian rocket hit residential building, causing a fire. Many other cities and communities will be shelled this evening. Every handshake with the war criminal Putin gives him confidence. Every kind smile convinces him that he can get away with his crimes. Instead of flirting with him, we must force him to peace through our collective resolve. Appeasement never brings peace, it only whets the appetite of the aggressor. Instead, we must isolate the aggressor and increase the pressure on him until he stops the terror. Adherence to common principles saves human lives and cultural heritage. Neglecting them brings death and destruction. And Uh, I'm not familiar with this building myself, but I know it's an older building with like a museum and cultural artifacts inside. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, it's basically bombed the museum. Um, I said Zelensky did a long speech. It's not in video form, but you can see all the posts to in Ukrainian. I'm not going to go through and read all that, but I will go back to yesterday's speech, which is subtitled.
Дорогі українці, українки, сьогодні готуємось до роботи з партнерами на тижні. Зокрема, з нашими європейськими партнерами, з тими, хто підтримує нас дуже принципово, дуже дієво. Ми створили цей новий формат співпраці Україна плюс країни Північної Європи. І в рамках цього формату незмінно нарощуємо нашу взаємодію оборонну, політичну, економічну. І в основі всього цього наша ціннісна взаємодія. Те, як ми бачимо життя в Європі, те, якою ми хочемо передати нашу Європу наступним поколінням. Точно безпечною, точно демократичною, точно здатною захищати інтереси європейців. Я вдячний кожній країні з цього нашого формату: Фінляндія, Швеція, Норвегія, Данія, Ісландія. Дякую вам. Очікуємо від всіх партнерів підтримки плану перемоги. Всі вони однаково розуміють, наскільки важливо бути рішучими. Розуміють, що треба створювати проблеми агресору, щоб Росія втрачала можливість псувати життя світу. Ми будемо говорити з нордиками про нові принципові кроки, які можуть посилити тиск на Росію за цю війну і заради чесної дипломатії. Тож, дипломатичних новин і нових пакетів підтримки України має бути наступного тижня більше. Звичайно, ключові і пріоритети – це підтримка наших позицій на найскладніших напрямках, підтримка наших воїнів, внутрішнього виробництва зброї, зокрема дронів. Данія зробила відповідні вагомі інвестиції. Працюємо зараз з партнерами, щоб приєднались. Окремо працюємо і на рівні країн, і на рівні найбільших світових компаній, виробників енергетичного обладнання для посилення нашої енергосистеми перед зимою. Це стосується передусім прикордонних і прифронтових громад, таких наших міст, як Суми, Харків та інші, які знаходяться надто близько до російської території. Урядовці та відповідні дипломатичні наші представники, енергетичні компанії мають чіткі завдання, в тому числі і щодо партнерів у Північній Європі. Ми будемо зміцнювати цю роботу. І ще кілька речей. Я хочу зараз подякувати за цей тиждень кільком нашим бойовим бригадам. Це 25-та окрема повітряно-десантна, це 79-та десантно-штурмова, 35-та окрема бригада морської піхоти, 65-та окрема механізована, 425-й окремий штурмовий батальйон і 27-та окрема артилерійська бригада. Просто молодці воїни. На різних напрямках проявили себе однаково добре заради України. Були сьогодні також доповіді головкома Сирського, фронт і Курська операція, та міністра оборони України Умєрова щодо контрактів для внутрішнього виробництва зброї. І сьогодні було багато сказано про українську мову, про українську культуру. Сьогодні відзначаємо День української писемності та мови. І в такий день важливо сказати, що тільки справжніми результатами реально зберігається все наше, все українське. Ми в цій війні боремось проти ворога, який намагається знищити в Україні все. Все українське. І тому кожна дія заради нашої держави, кожен результат на посилення України мають непересічне значення. Виграти цю війну можемо ми всі лише разом. І вберегти Україну можемо лише разом. Не кожен сам для себе, а всі для України. І саме так маємо працювати щодня. Всі для України. Кожен на своєму рівні, кожен на своєму місці. Дякую за всі результати заради України. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. And that was the speech from Zelensky. Just to go into this big one here. During his participation in the fourth Ukraine Northern Europe Summit, he emphasized that Russian threats of escalation should not weaken our resolve. Only determination, truly far-reaching, will put an end to the war. Not negotiations or someone's secret channels, but determination. It's a really good speech. You should check it out. If you get a good link for it, let me know. Go into the mass media. News from the South China Morning Post. Russian troops disdain for North Korean fighters caught on audio intercept. Kind of funny. Russia doesn't even like their own people. How are they going to like others? Reuters, no new limits on Ukraine's use of U.S. arms if North Korea joins Russia's fight. North Korea has sent about 10,000 troops to Russia to fight in Ukraine. And New York Times, Ukraine braces for Russian assault in Kursk region using North Korean troops. Again, Putin draws a line in the sand. Retaliation if Kyiv uses long-range missiles. What else could you do? What else could Putin do? He's already throwing missiles at Kyiv. He's already throwing drones at Kyiv. The only thing that he hasn't used so far is nukes, and if he threatens nukes again, I get my bingo card filled. The end justifies the means. High Russian death toll fails to shift opinion on Ukraine war. Well, that's because Russia is lying to its people about the death toll. 10,000 troops in a single week, and they're getting 10,000 troops from North Korea. So North Korea will have an effect of 1 week. Yeah, it's a cumulative effect, but basically Ukraine goes through those troops in a week. Of course, we know Abrams and Bradleys were built for the Cold War, and they're battling inside Russia. That is a cool picture. And of course, it's behind a paywall. When I saw this, it was a little eye-opening. New York City, they did a mural to highlight the abduction of children in Ukraine, and put up these banners of empty children's rooms and empty beds throughout the city. And they even played Ukrainian lullaby songs on the street. Just a couple pictures and empty room of bunk beds. Um, empty crib, and zoom out of it. Mural will be on display until December or the 30th of November. In front of each of the rooms, there was a chair with the stuffed animal exactly as in the image. Of course, the Ukrainian lullaby songs. There it was up somewhere up here. They're talking about 20,000. Yeah, 20,000 kids taken by Russian forces. To put that in perspective, the closest town that has over 20,000 people in it is almost 75 miles away from me. If you add up like all the people in my county here in South Dakota, I think we just barely break 20,000. So like look around your area and find a town of 20,000 people and imagine that town is now empty because Russia kidnapped them. Actually, T Boone. Because Mitchell's only 15,000. Yankton is only 16. Yeah, so think about that, Blue. 2/3 of your 2/5 of your county gone. I mean, and that's just in the children. That's not counting the people that they forcibly evacuated out of Mariupol and relocated them elsewhere in Russia. We have no solid numbers on how many people that was. The number could easily reach into hundreds of thousands of people that Russia basically deported from Ukraine and sent to all reaches of Russia. And Tigger and Piglet. But it kind of puts it in perspective. You don't have to be in a big city like New York to get this known. It wouldn't do much good in my town with 76 people. But put out a Ukrainian flag on a bed and for your Halloween display. What's scarier than coming home to an empty child's room and not knowing? Hey, Lotus. It's just okay. Enough cutting onions. Um, ah, Croatia to buy Leopard tanks for Germany from Germany for a swap to Ukraine. Oh, there was one that had. Uh, Croatia is purchasing 50 Leopard tanks from Germany and transferring its old tanks to Ukraine. Um, 30 M84 tanks and 30 M80 infantry fighting vehicles. Um, so they look a lot like the Russian BMPs, but apparently equipped with a 20 millimeter automatic cannon. So the M84 tanks are a localized copy of the Soviet era T-72s. So these will be easily integrated into Ukrainian forces. And it just goes on to talk about these systems, but Ukraine's getting 30 of each. Can't wait to see those roll into Ukraine. Uh, how Soviet farm planning gave Ukrainian troops vital battlefield real estate. Okay. Um, Control over strategic windbreaks can make a difference in winning a fight or losing one. Okay. The tree line is life. Said a member of the gun team of the National Guard of the 15th Brigade. No, they're talking about, these little. Um, in Ukrainian, the word is translated into landing. We call them windbreaks. But if you go and zoom into any area, you see there's tree lines in between major fields, and this is what they're talking about, and that is everywhere. Um, so pick a, you know, pick a spot, and the tree lines are there. Um, as part of what's turned this war into an artillery war. Um, even down here, tree line after tree line after tree line after tree line, tree lines. So it's an advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage for when they try to retake the areas. Um, do you just bypass the tree lines and go for major strongholds? You know? So that's an interesting read and some cool pictures. Of course, Ukraine in autumn again. Um, Ukrainian criminal network takes vengeance on Putin's people. Yeah, no, I'm not doing a paywall for the Daily Beast. Although that sounds like it'd be a good read. Um, yeah, this is what Zelensky's speech touched on is basically Zelensky was asking for an invite to try to join NATO after the war. And oh no, we don't want to risk World War III was the response. Fear mongering. What about Trump? Blah 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 blah. And of course, even Zelensky knows you can't join NATO with an active war going on. Zelensky was asking for an invitation to join NATO after the war is over, after a peace settlement is reached. So, yeah, again, U.S. politicians talking out there, you know what. Yeah, O'Brien's point of view serves as a glimpse into how a future Trump administration could approach dueling global crises in the Middle East, Russia, and the Far East. O'Brien was a former Trump advisor. Yeah, and Trump wants him back as a Secretary of State. I'm glad I've already voted, and I did not vote for Trump. Uh, okay, back to the Steve Rosenberg interview. That's pretty much it for mainstream media. I'm going to leave the air alert map up here and go through chat really quick. Yeah, I like re-utters because sometimes they're a bunch of. Never mind, I can't say that on YouTube. Um, yeah, I feel you, KK. This was most of. I mean, a lot of sore throat spray yesterday and today. Hey there, K-Bell. See, I did a absentee ballot. Um, just because with my knees and everything, standing in line at the polling station, not a good thing. So get the absentee ballot, be able to sit here at my computer, research the stuff that I don't know, look further into stuff that I will need to know more information about, and it's a great way to vote. because it gives you the most access to information, and you're not standing there in a booth going, oh, wait, I've never heard of this. What is this? Sorry, I got a hangnail. Hangnails are annoying. Uh, no, yeah, it's the only problem with voting with an absentee ballot is you don't get one of those little stickers that say I voted. Um, unless there's anything pressing. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Blue, I'm sorry. So, this is the 27th. 1,440 personnel lost. 4 tanks, 23 APVs, 39 artillery systems, 73 UAVs, 100 vehicles, and 1 special equipment. And as of this morning for yesterday, 1,680 personnel lost, 7 tanks, 40 APVs, 51 artillery systems, 68 UAVs, another 100 vehicles, and 14 special equipment. Ukraine's becoming a massive collector of Russian junk. Sadly, but they are. So unless you guys have anything else you want to ask or want me to look into for tomorrow's stream, I'm going to end it here shortly. And try to get my throat to settle down. It's starting to crack and yeah, it's a weird little badge of honor, but I know some people that collect those stickers. Um oh, my voice just cracked. Show what? I'm sorry, Blue, I'm not sure what you're referring to. You want me to show these back on screen? Oh, one more thing before I go. Uh, this just popped up. Norway will allocate 500 million euros aid package to Ukraine. The country's prime minister said at a briefing. Of this, 350 million will go to military aid. Oh, I didn't get a sticker because I did an absentee ballot. They don't give you a I voted sticker for an absentee ballot. let me just check one other thing. Yeah, that was hours ago. Um, 8:28. It's now 9:17. So this was almost an hour ago now, 15 minutes. Um, within the Kiev region, 4 um, drones in Vyshegrád, Orbekiv, and Fastiv districts. Through Chernihiv, 1 UAV in the direction of Kiev and Vistancia. I know where Fastiv is here. I don't know the other locations they were talking about. But there was one drone here. And I'm just not familiar enough with the individual regions inside an oblast to know where the other ones are. I just know Fastiv because, well, it's one of the towns around here is one I'm looking at getting a house in. Uh, oh, okay. This is one of the other ones, Ubakiv. So in this area, there's a drone. Fastiv is the drone. Uh, yeah, and I'm not seeing the other one. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks for putting up with the double episode. And see y'all next time. And stay safe, everybody.